Hello everyone and welcome to today's walkthrough. We're going to be walking through how to utilize, install, and set up your Leorn board. We're going to be working together to go start to finish how to get Leorn board working with OBS Studio. Now mind you, this is the key here. This will only work with OBS Studio. Stream Elements and Streamlabs will not work because they don't support WebSockets, but that's okay. If you have OBS Studio, this is the way to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through how to install Leorn board, how to get it running, and then how to set up one of your buttons. Now, this is just a basic understanding of how Leorn board works and how you're going to utilize it. And then I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to be creative. And if you can, let me know in the chat how you've been utilizing Leorn board, how you've been innovating and really changing your stream and making it better. So let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you go to Google, of course, and then type in Leorn board. It'll be your first link. Go ahead and click that first link, and it'll take you to the OBS website. Right, you'll want to click the main download link right here. Now, once you're taken to this page, you're going to want to click version 1.44b. Now, at the time of this recording, of course, you're going to have, you may have a different one. It's totally up to you. So with that, once it's downloaded, you're going to have it zipped into a folder or a file, right? Mine is in downloads. Yours could be somewhere else. But once you have that, what you want to do is you want to click extract all. This is the key here, though. You want to extract all, and I suggest to go into your C drive and then extract it directly into your C drive, right? It'll be in the same as your program files. So select the folder, extract all the files, and then once it's completed, I already have that one. You might get an administrator request. Just click continue. Know that this is safe. Don't worry about it. It's totally safe to utilize this. What I typically do just to keep things organized for your guys' reference, I created a new folder, or I'll create a new folder in here, right? I'm going to name it Leorn board. Okay. And then what you want to do is put all those folders or those files into that Leorn board extraction, right? So once you've extracted all that stuff, once you've extracted the Leorn board extension in there, what you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that all the files are unified into that folder, because once you have this in your folder, you have to make sure that it is in your C drive, right? So my suggestion to you is to create that folder, extract it into that folder, but make sure it's in your C drive. So let me show you one more time so you guys know how to do it, right? So you'll have the download. So go to your downloads folder, right click on it, extract all, browse for the new folder that we created. There's nothing in there. So what you want to do is you want to create a new folder within that, right? So let's go back to our PC, right click, new folder. My L's not working. Caps lock. Leorn board. It's late. Don't judge me. All right. Anyway, Leorn board's here. Select the folder. Extract. Get the pop up. There we go. Awesome. So now that you've extracted it into this folder, you're going to want to make sure that this is all connected to your OBS. So let's go ahead, put our OBS on here so that you guys can see everything, right? This is the next important step with your Leorn board setup. You have to make sure that you have the WebSocket. Now, I know a lot of you may or may not have WebSockets enabled, and that's perfectly fine, but it's very simple to get a WebSocket going. So in your Google, you'll want to type in OBS WebSockets, right? And what you'll see is this first one, right? You'll click this link right here, OBS WebSockets. Scroll down to releases. Click on releases. Do not do Alpha 2 or Alpha 1. If you want to, you can, but those are just for beta tests, right, for you guys. Once you get familiar with it, you can use it. It's totally up to you. Scroll down to Windows Installer. Once the exe is downloaded and run, super easy. It'll do everything for you. Don't change any of the settings. The settings should be the same. Restart your OBS, and you'll have your WebSocket settings, and I'll show you where to find those. So now that you're here in your OBS, you'll click on Tools. You should see WebSocket Server Settings. 4444. You can have a password. It's totally up to you. I typically don't. My network is pretty secure. I don't need to worry about that. So just leave that blank for now. Click OK. All right. So now that we've got the WebSocket going, you're going to want to go back to your Liorn board folder. Now that you're here, you're going to go ahead and click the receiver. You're going to want to open up Liorn board receiver. Now, if you have Voicemeeter Banana, you're going to want to start Liorn board before you start Voicemeeter Banana. Okay? So click run anyway. Right? Now, you might get an error. You might not if you have Voicemeeter Banana running, and that's okay. You'll get the Windows security alert. Just go ahead and click allow access. Trust it. And you can walk through the tutorial. It's very easy, very straightforward. So let's go ahead. We're not going to go through the tutorial. I already understand this here, and I'll teach it to you today. So I'm going to click no. Your listen port should be 9423. That's what it is for our WebSocket settings. And as we noted just a second ago, our WebSocket port is 4444. We have no password. I auto-connect OBS WebSocket, and I auto-connect to Twitch. Don't worry about non-blocking. Your frames per second are fine. Click accept. We are done with the receiver. So think of it this way. There's two functions. You've got the receiver, and you have a transmitter. So now let's go back to our folder here. Click the back arrow. Now we're going to go to the Stream Deck. This is the actual deck that actually does the functions, right? So when you touch a button, it shows an action. So we're going to want to open that up. So here's Liorn board. You'll see this pop open, a wonderful green screen. 9423, just like we noted a second ago. Click connect. Here is all the basic buttons. We're not going to worry about this right now. You should get the connected to receiver using 127.0.0.19423. Now you'll want to go back, minimize these two, and we're here on our deck, right? So what you want to do is click connect to OBS. You should automatically connect since you have your WebSocket settings going, right? Link your Twitch. This is the point where you're going to have to link your Twitch. Copy the URL, right? Once you've copied the URL, you'll be able to open up a new web browser and paste that link into your web browser. Now, of course, this is what you'll see once you paste that link in there. It will give the access token. Okay, you can close this. So we link to Twitch, and then we click connect to Twitch, right? So you'll get this warning, right? In OBS, the view at the top, this is kind of strange. What on earth is this? Well, here's the fun part. Now that we've connected it to OBS and we've connected it to our Twitch, what you're going to want to do, go into OBS, click View. In your docs, you'll want to go to Custom Browser Docs. Okay? You want to type in the doc name, which is Liorn board. Once you've typed in the doc name, you'll want to put the URL in there. Now, this is not a URL to a website. This is to the actual TSL file, right? So what you want to do, this is the easiest way. Open up your Liorn board. And you'll see the TSL transmitter here. Right click on that, click copy. This is still, remember, this is still in your Liorn board folder, which we zipped to or unzipped to. Paste that in here and click apply. Now close. Now we're here, right? View, docs, Liorn board. Here is the new transmitter, right? So now we have our transmitter, which you can add it to a dock if you want. You can put it wherever you want. I typically leave it out. That's just for me. It is what it is. But you'll see 3 green dots populate. These 3 green dots just say, hey, you're golden. You're good to go, right? And it connects to what you have on your Liorn board. Now, you'll want to open up your Liorn board receiver. Now, the cool thing is, these are all of the OBS examples, trigger examples, etc., right? Click Add New Deck. Here's our new deck. When I click on it, you now have an entire new deck piece here, right? Now this deck, these are all buttons that you can populate, which of course will show up here. But what we're going to do is we're going to have background things running, right? So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a new button. So we'll click on it, create a blank button. Now we have a blank button there. Now we need to figure out what we're going to do with that blank button, right? So right click on it. Now when you right click on these, you can see a lot of different options, right? So in our case, let's do a command, right? So you can add sound effects, you can add sound mods, you can do a keyboard macro to run a specific program or run a specific action. You can do whatever you need to here, right? But what we'll do today for the basics is add a command. You are now brought to this window here. This is our parameters window. There's a little plus sign. Go ahead and click on that. You now have different parameters that you can reference. If you click on this area here that says math change variable, you are given a huge, powerful area of actions and commands that can run through, right? In our case, for today's example, we're going to be creating a nuke to come on our stream and explode the stream. But we're only going to do that with a Twitch trigger of subscriptions. So when somebody subs, the nukes come in, boom, blows up the stream, okay? It'll be fun. So it's like dropping a bomb on the stream. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add a command. So you can type in here, chat. So I'm going to set a chat message, right? That's my goal, is I'm going to set a chat message. The message I want is !nuke. And you can do this with me. We'll walk through this whole thing, right? Now we click done. Now we've added a command. So when that button is actioned, my chat will automatically have a nuke chat message populate. That doesn't mean a nuke's going to happen. What we're going to do is we're going to right click on this now, and we're going to click add a Twitch trigger. This is our Twitch trigger button. So based on subs, bits, donos, anything, you can click plus and you can add one of these. I'm going to click subs for this example. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Prime, Sub, Gift, and Anonymous. This is totally up to you. I'm going to do Tier 1 for our example today. Click done. Now, here's how it works. It's an if this then that coding. So if somebody donates a Tier 1 sub or subscribes at Tier 1, then the nuke command will go to my chat. Now, once we're done here, we click done. Boom, we've got the button. That's great. But how do we get the nuke to work? That's where a new website comes in. We're going to be using a cloud-hosted website called Triggerfire. So it's not spelled the way that you think. It's Triggerfire spelled this way. Trigger, F-Y-R-E, right? Go ahead and click on the first link here. Triggerfire is amazing. It's a very powerful tool that you can use for a lot of your videos, sounds, etc. So click login with Twitch. Follow the directions, totally up to you. In the upper right, you'll want to click OBS. You'll want to make sure that the local host is the same. Click connect to OBS. OBS is connected. So now you have your OBS connected. You have your browser settings set up. Click videos. Now in my case, right, I'm going to be using Nuke. So I already have a video that I found online. I found it on YouTube. You guys can go to youtube.com, type in missile green screen or missiles and download that video. It's 3 to 5 seconds. They're all free. You can download that video. Once you've downloaded the video, you can upload here by selecting it, right? So we've now uploaded all of these different green screens. You'll want to upload one of them. Now, in my case, I uploaded this one right here. Okay, that is what was there. We've uploaded it in here. All you have to do is select the file, drag it and drop it in here, click upload. You can select the file from your computer and you'll be good to go. Okay. Now, what you'll want to do here is you'll want to do exclamation point nuke, right? The key here is making sure that it's case sensitive. It's all the same. So exclamation point nuke is going to be the command name. The reward name that we can utilize, we can use it if we want. It's totally up to us, but you can put nuke stream, you can put nuke, but remember, whatever you put in Twitch is going to be what this references. Click allow command and save. Once you've saved it, click save. All right, so we're done with Triggerfire now. Now what we're going to do, right, is we're going to go into our OBS, right? And on our OBS, we're going to want to click plus sign. You're going to click browser. Now, in my case, I already have it. It's very easy to set up. So you'll click browser source, create a new name. It's totally up to you. I called it Twitch Control. And once you create it, you'll want to click properties. So now what you want to do is you want to put 1920 by 1080. Right? And you're going to want to reference a URL. Now you're wondering where the URL came from. Well, on Triggerfire's website, you have this little pink button down here. Copy the link. Copy that link and paste it into your URL portion and click OK. Now, we actually have it on our OBS now. So it's overlaid over everything. And the way that OBS works is it stacks. So I will put this on top because it's going to be an overlay. Now, right click on the actual Twitch control one that we're going to use. Right. And let me move the camera here for you guys so you can see. Twitch control is right here. Click filters. You're going to want to add a chroma key. Right. So on your chroma key, you'll click the plus sign and click chroma key. You'll want to click green, 400, 80, 100, and everything else should remain the same. And then click close. Now that you have this set up, anything with a green background is going to be the same color as whatever you have on your stream, right? So what it'll do now is you have this Twitch control here that is controlled by Triggerfire, right? So now that we're here, totally easy. We've done two things. One, we've set up our Leorn board, our deck, right? Command. The command is simple, right? We right clicked and went to commands. On that command, it's type in nuke, right? So let's look at this one. Well, I've noticed something. Case sensitive, capital N. Okay. We also added the second thing in this is our Twitch trigger. Tier 1 sub will automatically trigger that chat, right? Now, on Triggerfire, we uploaded our nuke video. We've added on our OBS, we've added the overlay. This overlay here, right, is just a browser source that references back to Triggerfire, which, as you know, is here, right? We were able to put this video, and we've got it there. Now, here's the key. Now we have to test it out. The cool thing about Leorn board, the powerful thing about Leorn board, is you can actually test these out. So let's go ahead and test this out. We're going to test a sub. There you go. So as you can see, when I click test sub, whenever someone subscribes to the channel, that nuke will go off. And in my stream chat, as you can see, nuke was populated in there. The reason that it was populated in there was because that was the Twitch trigger that I set up within LeornBoard. The beautiful thing about LeornBoard is these things can be so powerful. You just have to create a new button, add a command, and do whatever you need to do. The best thing is, as you get more comfortable with it, you can have OBS control sound. You can control the audio source. You can control the monitor type. You can even have a button specifically for changing your voice. So rather than having your XLR and pressing the button, you can have Twitch gifted subs, bits, channel points change your voice to something silly, like a girly voice or a very deep God mode voice or something along those lines. So it's a very, very powerful tool. I would highly, highly, highly suggest taking a look around and playing around with it. I would love to know what you guys are going to be using yours for. In the chat below, share with me how you've actually used it. Let me know how this has helped. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. So hopefully you guys found this extremely relevant and helpful, because LeornBoard is a very, very helpful and powerful tool. Look forward to seeing you guys in my channel, twitch.tv/Calcidor. We do this all the time. We walk through different things that you can use for a stream, from changing the color of the lights behind you to even mounting all of these lights on my house on the outside, controlled by chat. So I look forward to seeing you guys. Hopefully you had a great time. I am going to call it a night since it is 3 a.m. Peace.